escaped with only a slight scare, as the fire was quickly extinguished with the help of 3 fireplanes that immediately flew over the accident. In another event, it was also possible to quickly localize the fire to the tourist region of Costa del Sol in southern Spain, but 70 hectares of forest in Germany near Brandenburg really made people worry. Due to the high air, a lot of damage was caused to tourists from a fire in Italy. In a Sicilian beach parking lot, within a few minutes, the fire destroyed about 50 cars. Most of them belonged to foreign tourists. According to eyewitnesses, there was no chance to save the vehicles. Hot weather in Europe is still a danger, and firefighters not only extinguish fires everywhere, but also try to prevent new ones. However, there is other evidence in favor of global warming. In early July, snowfall fell on the Mexican city of Guadalajara. Under 5 feet of snow, plants, roads, and cars were buried. Local authorities claim that it was a natural anomaly. About 200 houses were damaged and many trees fell. Fortunately, no casualties were reported. This is really an incredible event because even old-timers don't remember it ever snowing here in the summer. It is noteworthy that the air temperature during the summertime is usually 86 degrees Fahrenheit, which soon led to a new problem: flooding. City officials have called the weather antics the most obvious evidence of climate change. However, weather forecasters do not agree with them. They note that a similar phenomenon has already been recorded in these places about 100 years ago. Forest fires are raging in Siberia and in the Far East. Flames engulf about 3 million hectares of forest in Krasnoyarsky Krai and Irkutsk Oblast in Russia. According to the government, the fires do not represent threats to settlements. Therefore, the authorities in the region decided not to deal with them, since in their opinion, the estimated extinguishing cost would exceed the predicted damage. Firefighters extinguished flames only near settlements on the territory of more than 90,000 hectares. Nevertheless, Greenpeace commented on what is happening as an environmental disaster on a planetary scale and requires the Russian authorities to take urgent measures. This flood caused the death of 136 people in the east and northeast of India. Torrential rains caused damage to more than 10 million citizens of the country. It destroyed houses, roads, government agencies. Landslides began in Meghalaya due to the heavy rains, and 4,000 homes were partially or completely destroyed in Assam. In flooded Kasaranga National Park, 30 animals were killed, including 4 hippos and 1 elephant. A lot of people are missing. Search and rescue operations in the region are ongoing. How much destruction and how many victims will be lost because of the flooding is unknown. The Meteorological Department of India announced a red warning in 3 regions of the country. Also, the flood caused human casualties and destruction in Russia. For some unknown reason, Siberian rivers began to overflow. Locals say that it rains every summer, but nothing like this before. Various assumptions are voiced about the causes of the flood, from ecosystem changes due to large-scale deforestation to melting glaciers in the mountains and problems at the local hydroelectric power plant. However, what really happened is not possible to know. Flooding since the end of June was recorded in 5 districts of the region, where the tributaries of the Angara River overflowed. According to the latest data, more than 4,000 houses have been flooded. In addition, despite the fact that more than 1,000 people were evacuated, there were human casualties. According to the authorities of the region, 5 people were killed and 2 were missing. More than 350 people are registered victims. About 100 were hospitalized. Almost 27,000 people were left without electricity, and 15 mobile bridges were destroyed. Among other things, the Siberian Federal Highway section was flooded. Flood relief work is ongoing. Summer Tuthonid. Biologists fear that abnormal heat could upset the balance of the entire marine and coastal ecosystem, and certainly it will become a real catastrophe for mollusk populations because even a water temperature of 89 degrees is fatal to them. But not only animals suffer. In South Dakota, concrete swells and bursts on the highway. Relatively low by the standards of summer of 2019, the temperature is 94 degrees here, but due to humidity, it feels like 107. Excessive heat causes deformation, and mass death of gray whales has become a cause of concern for the global scientific community. The depleted carcasses of the world's largest animals are thrown on the Pacific coast, from Mexico to Alaska. Currently, there are about 170 giants cast ashore. Biologists claim that this is only a small part of the dead gray whales. Most of them sink to the bottom of the sea. The national is happening despite all the efforts of scientists has not been clarified. First of all, it remains a mystery why coastal whales are dying. Biologists suggest that an unknown source of whale deaths is hidden in the depths of the ocean, while some of them connect the death of animals with the abnormal heat on the American continent. Not only did heat become a problem for the southern states of the USA, nature brought residents other unpleasant surprises. A 7.0 magnitude earthquake occurred in the desert of Southern California, the most powerful earthquake in the state for over 20 years. According to the authorities, there were no deaths or serious, which would give him the right to federal assistance. And the final factor that made us talk about the end of the world was a ball of fire flying through the air on the night of July 2nd to July 3rd in the sky over Florida. It rushed to the ground at a frantic speed and caused serious concern among eyewitnesses. Calls about a meteorite that is about to collide with our planet was continuously talked about in conversation. Some even brought up a possible alien attack on the Earth. But unlike the previous events of recent months, there was a logical explanation for this, and soon the secret of the burning ball was revealed, and all fears were dispelled. It turned out that this was just space debris, a fragment of a Chinese rocket, which launched a satellite into orbit during the winter. And that's all for today. Write what you think about this. Is the end of the world really near? Thanks for watching. Hi there. This summer, many unexplained natural phenomenon took place on our Earth.